Yo, what's good, people? Welcome to another episode of Smoked Out Society. I am your host, Havoc 3E. Y'all already know, man. I got some shit to show y'all today. I got some videos to show y'all today. Look, like I said, I don't know what's the validity to some of the shit that's being flooded on the internet, but it's crazy, bro. It's crazy to the point where they say Michelle Obama's a man. What the fuck is going on? They say that Michelle Obama's a man, that she didn't give birth to her kids. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is fucking wild crazy. There's some shit going on here that don't make no motherfucking sense. I'm telling you right now, bro. Motherfuckers is wigging and they doing too much. And that's what it's coming down to. Motherfuckers is just doing too much and they fucking absolutely wigging. That's what it is, plain and simple, yo. I'm going to keep it real with y'all, yo. I'm not going to sit here and believe that Michelle Obama is a fucking man. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Jeffrey Epstein is dead. I can't buy that shit no more, neither. Like, come on, man. I could understand, you know. No, I can't understand. I can't understand. These images have already been proven to be 100% legit. Know what I'm saying? Hey, I got the fucking hood on. I'm home now. Let my hair breathe. Let's do it. Know what I'm saying? Excuse me. You know how I love my hair. Fucking hood on. Here we go. Freedom. Know what I'm saying? You can't keep like, damn, what more do we need, man? You can't keep saying the same bullshit, man. Either Jeffrey Epstein's alive, man. I'm sorry. My eyes are not gonna fucking deceive me. I'm no, man. There's too much shit going around, too much shit that's being coming up, and there are people that already fucking debunked the fact that the pictures are not AI. They've already debunked that. The pictures are not AI, they are fucking authentic photos. So you telling me there's a motherfucking a clone of Jeffrey Epstein just straight living in Israel? So that's what we doing now? Like, this shit is crazy, bro. I'm not buying that. I'm definitely not buying that. But we're about to go into it right here. We're gonna start off on this right here. I want to start off with this dude's video. I don't even know. This dude just came out of nowhere. So this dude has been posting crazy shit here too. So we're gonna check out this dude, man. I want to see what this dude is talking about, bro. I'm sorry. I'm at the point where I'm
Hi, I'm Tyler, one of the co-founders of Bones Coffee Company. I just wanted to thank you, the customer, for being so loyal and showing so much support.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm one of those people that believe Jeffrey Epstein's alive. Too much shit. They find in Fortnite active account. Like, yo, this shit is crazy, bro. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play something real quick before we start playing everything. Let me put this in the background. I don't know who was fucking with my settings, yo. This shit's crazy. Hold on a second. Here we go. All right. Media. And if you didn't hear it, this was an exclusive that we did yesterday. Nowhere else, no one has played it. He specifically gave it to me first, and I felt honored. And coming outside, I felt honored, and I'm gonna play it right now. This is dedicated Grime Music's newest song, his newest hit. Hasn't even hit nowhere yet. I got it first here. Here we go. She was fire, people.
Madrugadas de silencio solo y con el alma fría, trabajando por el sueño que la noche me guía. Mi mano está callosa pero mi mente está limpia, construyendo mi futuro sin atajos, sin limosna. Mientras otros duermen yo estoy planeando el vuelo. Cada gota de sudor es un ladrillo en mi suelo. No hubo herencia, no hubo suerte, solo horas y empeño, tejiendo mi destino con un hilo de sueño. Yeah. El sudor lo que brilla es el esfuerzo, mi oro, abriendo mi propio camino sin ningún decoro. Lo que tengo lo gano, lo que gano lo gano bien, mirando hacia el futuro dejando atrás el desdén. El sudor lo que brilla es el esfuerzo, mi oro, abriendo mi propio camino sin ningún decoro. Lo que tengo lo gano, lo que gano lo gano bien, mirando hacia el futuro dejando atrás el desdén. Caí 1000 veces, me levanté 2000, cada fracaso un paso, cada tropiezo un sutil recordatorio de que lo que vale cuesta, de que en esta lucha nadie te presta. Mis noches son de estudio, mis días de acción, borrando las dudas con determinación. No es para aplausos, es para mi propia paz, para poder decir yo lo hice y fue real. Oye, ¿crees que fue fácil? Nah, fue puto trabajo día y noche. Pero mira ahora, el sudor lo que brilla es el esfuerzo mío, abriendo mi propio camino sin ningún decoro. Lo que tengo lo gano, lo que gano lo gano bien, mirando hacia el futuro dejando atrás el desdén. Dedicated Grand Music. El sudor lo que brilla es el esfuerzo mío, abriendo mi propio camino sin ningún decoro. Lo que tengo lo gano, lo que gano lo gano bien, mirando hacia el futuro dejando atrás el desdén. Madrugadas de silencio solo y con el alma fría, trabajando por el sueño que la noche me guía. Mi mano está callosa pero mi mente está limpia, construyendo mi futuro sin atajos, sin limosna. Mientras otros duermen yo estoy planeando el vuelo. Cada gota de sudor es un ladrillo en mi suelo. No hubo herencia, no hubo suerte, solo horas y empeño, tejiendo mi destino con un hilo de sueño. Yeah. El sudor lo que brilla es el esfuerzo, mi oro, abriendo mi propio camino sin ningún decoro. Lo que tengo lo gano, lo que gano lo gano bien, mirando hacia el futuro dejando atrás el desdén. El sudor lo que brilla es el esfuerzo, mi oro, abriendo mi propio camino sin ningún decoro. Lo que tengo lo gano, lo que gano lo gano bien, mirando hacia el futuro.
That was that dedicated grind music, bro. You can't hear that shit nowhere else. That was an exclusive. You could only hear it here on Smoked Out Society, home of the motherfucker Rico Squad. You already know, man. But yo, man, I got some shit for y'all today, man. People are really going balls in on breaking down whether motherfucking Jeffrey Epstein is alive or not, bro. It has gotten to the point where now people want to know. It ain't no more fucking, nah. Niggas want to know, bro. They're not playing games no more. This shit is wild, bro. You got everybody that's somebody breaking down what the fuck is going on with this Jeffrey Epstein shit, bro. I'm telling you, this shit is crazy, bro. It's wild crazy. So we're gonna go through a couple of these videos right now. I'm about to light this blunt. I see CW, DK in the building. That's what's up. Yeah, bro, we're about to go through these videos, man. I'm going to go through some of this shit, man. This shit is crazy. Just trying to wait for a couple of more people to come in the building, man. Share this shit out, people. Share this shit out. And share this bad boy out. Was good. Was good. Was good. Was good. You already know. Here we go. I'm about to play this shit. Let's do this. What's good, Chaos Truth? What's good? What's good? All right, like I said, folks, this is all speculation, but the speculation is looking real, bro. Tell you, I've been bothering wifey with this shit, keeping her up. Like I'm dead serious, bro. This is fucking crazy. Big Irv is on the host set. Let me get ahead and drop the link because, you know, Big Irv is my conscience when it comes to the shit that we're about to see tonight. And I like to go with Irv's fucking specialty because Irv, like I said, has the experience in this field. And it's always good to get somebody fucking knowledge of what's going down. Because this shit is crazy, bro. Because now all the videos I'm going to show y'all today are brand new videos of other people breaking down the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. This shit is crazy. It is being reported as well that the Department of Justice sent a couple of people. They didn't say specifically, but the Department of Justice sent a couple of people to Tel Aviv, Israel. For what? What the fuck are you sending anybody over there for? I thought Jeffrey Epstein is dead. What do you need to send anybody over there for? Like, who these fucking people think we are? Do we look fucking stupid to you? Y'all niggas fucking, you want to know, people, that the reason why from 9:02 to 2:29 you don't see no footage, because that was the fucking time they used for that nigga to walk out of the jail, get in the car, get in a plane, go to Epstein Island, chill there for a little bit. Once he saw that Epstein Island was becoming a little too fucking hot, that nigga said, yo, I got to get up out of here. And he went to Israel. Why he's showing himself now, folks, I don't know. Maybe he's fucking happy that what's going down is going down with the Epstein file. But any way you fucking put it, this shit is wild crazy. Any way you put it. So we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get into this. You need something, Shar?
Yes.
I already did. All right, so here we go.
Maybe Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. In the Epstein files, there's a receipt from YouTube where his username is LittlestJeff1. Hello, LittlestJeff1. Wait, LittlestJeff1. There was a charge in May 2019, but he died in August. Wait, Chapter 5, Season 1. Wait, that was recent. Epstein's Fortnite account is active in Israel? No. Fortnite tracker. We have, all right, gentlemen, we have the Fortnite account right now. Let's pull it up. The profile has just been made private. Wait a minute. Can I look at this on Wayback Machine? It has not archived that URL. Epstein just privated his account. I have screenshots of his stats confirming he's alive. How is this proof? Okay, so this is why people think that it's Jeffrey Epstein. He got a charge for $25 for V-Bucks on Fortnite. And this was on May 7th, 2019. And this is, again, keep in mind, justice.gov. This is the government website for Jeffrey Epstein right here. And this is Littlest Jeff with jeevacation@gmail.com. It could be a troll, but how could it be a troll if they did it so far in advance? The account isn't brand new. It was discovered. My guy faked his death and immediately started playing Fortnite. Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 10 ran from August 1st to October 2019. Crazy. Get the screenshot of him playing Season 6 before it's too late. Where are the other screenshots of this? I want to see it. It says I can't edit the post. Where's the imager link? Matches. So he and wait, this is Season 4, and he had an 8% win rate? Look at Chapter 3, Season 17. 17% win rate? He has kids playing.
Yo, folks, there's no way to fucking lie. This nigga has been playing Fortnite left and right. You can see him making purchases under his account, his name. They're in Season 5 of Fortnite right now. Jeffrey Epstein died during Season 1. How the fuck is Jeffrey Epstein participating in seasons 2, 3, 4, and 5 if he died in 2019 when Fortnite season 1 was fucking running? Can someone explain that to me? Because the fucking math ain't mathing. Like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? You can't say that's not his personal email, because when you go into the fucking the Jeffrey Epstein files, they show a record of all the emails he ever owned. And that is one of his fucking emails. And why is it that that account has an Israel flag in front of it? Come on, man.
He's in Tel Aviv playing Fortnite. This could be, wait, this is his WoW account? Wait a minute.
Context.
This is the Department of Justice. Jeffrey Epstein played WoW. And he was a Wrath baby. This was right before Cataclysm. Wait a minute.
Oh, shit. They are tracking him down to his gaming account.
No.
He was Horde? I knew it, guys. I knew it all along.
He has heirlooms? Yes, he has heirlooms, which means that this is an alt. This is an alt character. This is Epstein, isn't it? Dude, who is this guy? Someone posted the photo without the beard on your Discord.
Wow. Bro, that's just
guys. Okay, I'm gonna save this photo though. So which one is better? Okay, that's a better photo. And why does it not? What the fuck? Why is it not? Why is it doing this? Like, what the fuck? The fuck? The fuck? Guys?
You can't
guys, are they in? Yeah, I'm really confused here. What's going on with this?
Got a craving?
Oh, come on.
Wing it. For as little as $6.99, get wings, a personal pan.
What the fuck? No, what happened?
Hey, everybody, Dr. G.
No. What the
I think
fuck?
he escaped. Would have done it, would have been through medical.
Maybe Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. In the Epstein all along, he has heirlooms? Yes, he has heirlooms. Guys?
Okay, it did finish.
What's going on with this?
It did finish. That's crazy, yo. That's wild crazy, bro. That's wild crazy. I'm really baffled right now. That's crazy, bro. All right. Bro, I don't know what to say. It's mind-boggling. Come on, man. What are you telling me? We fucking clone Jeffrey Epstein? There's a clone out there? He has a twin brother he never knew of? I mean, seriously. Is that what we're going to say? Is that what we're going to say? Jeffrey Epstein had a clone. That shit don't make no sense, bro. You're not going to beat me in the head and tell me this man had a fucking clone. We're not doing that. We're not about to do that. I'm sorry.
He had a duplo.
Nah, you're not hitting me. You're not beating me in the head with that neither. That's wife in the background. Nah, that nigga Jeffrey Epstein is alive. I'm sorry. I'm not taking nothing else for an answer. This motherfucker is alive. And this guy right here is about to break it down. Check this shit out.
Hey, everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert. And today we're going to be analyzing whether or not Jeffrey Epstein could still be alive. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be analyzing today are documents from the Epstein files that raise the question whether or not Jeffrey Epstein could still be alive. Yes, I am as shocked as you are that I'm analyzing this and that this is the subject of this video, but I'm going to give you some very compelling reasons why I felt this was necessary. Ever since I started analyzing the Epstein files, I've had people commenting that he, in fact, is not dead, that he didn't die on August 10th. It's not something that I ever took very seriously until I started looking at some notes that were found in his prison cell. The picture you're looking at right now is actually part of a detailed escape plan. I'm going to walk you through step by step what all of this means. I've gone through and translated all of this, and by the time we're done, you'll understand why I find this so compelling. All right, let's just jump right in. For the sake of context, we're going to look at a few pictures before we actually get to the escape plans, but I think this will help you understand why they're so compelling and where they were found. Now, if you look at this right here, this is L tier. He was housed in what's called the SHU, the Special Housing Unit. L tier was the unit where he was housed. He was on the right side of the unit. He was the first door on the right. As we open that door, as we go in, you can see it's disgusting, just covered in blankets. And as we go down, there's part of, this was not the noose that was actually found on him. So we still don't know where that is, actually. But although that's part of it, this is part of what.
Well, you need to come on the panel. Come on, baby. I need you to come up here. I'm trying to get an open panel, man. Share this shit out, man. I've been trying to fill the panel up. Let's talk about it, man. This is some good talking right here. But check this shit out. Thanks for being in the building. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the like button, share this shit out, bro. We got open panel, man. I dropped the link already in the chat, man. This shit is crazy, man. Is he or is he not? I believe this motherfucker's alive. Let's keep watching.
Was found where he was the next morning. Now, the most interesting part of this cell, at least for what we're talking about today, are some notes that were found. Here's one note. Here's the second note, and that's the one I showed you at the beginning. And here is a third note. And this, I think, is actually the other half of the piece of paper up here. Now, these pictures had actually been released before. I knew that there was a note, but I was never able to read it because this was the angle. This was the shot that we had. And there was no amount of zooming in that could make you see more than a couple of letters here and there. It was impossible to translate, impossible to make sense of, but I was always curious what it said. So what kind of notes was Jeffrey Epstein writing in his cell? I really wanted to know. Well, fortunately, now we have the answer. Now, when you first look at this,
oh, shit. Yes, please. I need that. I need that. Because the shit that's coming out is crazy. They're eating people, man. Wow. Are you serious? Damn, that's crazy. God damn, if that's true, that's fucking absolutely wild crazy. You know, I gotta munch on something real quick. My nerves are fucked up, bro. My nerves are bad right now. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. This shit is crazy, man. Jeffrey Epstein's alive, man. It was the baby of a girl that they were trafficking. Oh my God. No, keep on. Look. This guy is gonna break it down for us. He believes that in the Epstein files, he found how this nigga was gonna escape. Here we go. Let me rewind a little bit because we got some people that just joined.
Were found. Here's one note. Here's the second note, and that's the one I showed you at the beginning. And here is a third note. And this, I think, is actually the other half of the piece of paper up here. Now, these pictures had actually been released before. I knew that there was a note, but I was never able to read it because this was the angle. This was the shot that we had. And there was no amount of zooming in that could make you see more than a couple of letters here and there. It was impossible to translate, impossible to make sense of, but I was always curious what it said. So what kind of notes was Jeffrey Epstein writing in his cell? I really wanted to know. Well, fortunately, now we have the answer. Now, when you first look at this, it just looks like a mess. It's probably very, very difficult for you to read, so I've gone through and translated it. We're going to look at that in a second, but I wanted you to get a chance to see this. One of the things that's important in terms from a handwriting perspective is that I think that Jeffrey Epstein is a very impulsive person. He has really scribbly, bad handwriting, but most of it can be translated. I was able to read most of it, and once we really see all of this in context, you're going to understand why I'm calling it an escape plan. So the way that I've done this is I've gone through and typed out the words on top of this so you can what I think it all says. And then I was to them so you can see the word right next to what I think each one means so that you can decide for yourself if you agree with my assessment or if you think it actually means something else. So first, let's go through. I'm going to explain what all of this means. The translation I have here, I am very confident in. If there's anything that I'm less confident in, I will tell you. I'm not sure what it says.
I just pause it. Because I see. I know the Super Bowl is happening. I'm thinking about cutting this off and going back a little bit later. So I think it's just some of the shit that I'm seeing is crazy, bro. Like Instagram is fucking me up. I'm not even gonna bullshit you, Just. Instagram is fucking me up bad. Seeing some of the shit that's going on is crazy, bro. But I'm just gonna. The kickoff is at 6:30. I'm probably gonna get off before that because I do want to watch the game. But I'm just trying to play this guy's segment because this shit is crazy. This man, he's breaking down. Look, he's breaking down how Jeffrey Epstein escaped, and these fucking idiots put the escape plan right in the fucking Epstein files. This is wild, bro. This is unbelievable.
Or if I'm not certain that's what it says, but if I typed it out here, I'm overwhelmingly sure that this is correct. Now I'm going to explain what everything means, and once I'm done with that, then we're going to go through and I'll let you make your own determinations if you think that I got it right. So I'm going to start with what was most obvious to me, the thing that drew my eye first, where it says red notice, and I put equals EXT. Now, if you don't know what a red notice is, that's an alert that Interpol puts out if there is a fugitive on the loose. If there's someone that is internationally wanted, a red notice notifies agencies that if this person is found, then you extradite them back to the country where they are being looked for. So that's why it says red notice equals EXT. So if there's a red notice out for him, then he will be set up for extradition. That was my first clue that if we're looking at all of this in context, that he was planning on getting out of the country. That was his goal by writing all of this down. Now, from the red notice, there is an arrow pointing back up to this main circle right here. So that means that if he's MIA in the US, in other words, if he's missing, so this would be shorthand basically saying he's missing. For anybody that's watching this that isn't from the US, I'm going to try my best to explain various acronyms the way that we would do them here. So MIA would be a way to say that he's missing. So if he's MIA in the US, then a red notice would occur. Then a red notice would be set out by Interpol. That's what that arrow means. But if we're to look at this circle, right, MIA US, let's look at some of the various branches of this. So visas would suggest that he's going to be planning on going out of the country. He would need to fake his name. It would have to be fake visas, but he would need visas. Something I guess he was considering is that he wrote no rights. So it could be depending on the country he goes to, his rights might be different. Interestingly, he wrote tourism here. Now, if he was planning on leaving the country, whether or not he would be posing as a tourist or whether or not he would be going to places that have tourism, there's some consideration about tourism because I'm pretty certain that's what that says. It either says tourism or tourist. His handwriting is so bad. You'll see in a second where the confusion is there. Now, up here, it says EXT tax. It could be EST tax, but I think that what this is estate tax. So in other words, if he is to die, how much money goes to estate tax, or that he's considering the estate tax right here. Another branch has banks, so obviously something that he's going to have to consider if he's going to have access to money. Now, here's one that I am somewhat less confident in, is that there's a name written here with dollar signs next to it. I put a question mark because I don't know what letter that is, but it does look like BLCH, like NIL or something like that. But this is very clearly a name and clearly associated with money. And below that, you can see it says guards. It says guards clear as day. That is 100% what this says. So whether or not that means that he needs guards, whether or not that has to do with prison guards, that's unclear, but that is very clearly stating guards right underneath.
People in the building. Are y'all paying attention what this man is saying? He's breaking down all of the fucking acronyms on how this nigga fucking escaped the jail. Pay attention. Visas, no rights, tourism, taxes, banks, bleach, guards. Like, yo, this nigga's basically putting code words for how he did the fuck he got out of there, bro. This shit is crazy. He hasn't even gotten to the other islands. Nigeria. Yo, this shit is crazy. Yo.
This name and the dollar signs. So if we're to look at the top portion of this, if he is MIA, if he is missing, a red notice will occur. He needs to keep all of these other things in mind. These are all things that he is thinking about. Now, if you look in the top left here, you see a number of letters, M and then R with a line to T with a line to M. And then above that, it looks like either a C or an L and then a dot and then a T. I didn't label those, but I think that that's what that says. So the question is, are these different tiers within the prison where he is? Because he's in L tier, M tier is below him. Are these people's names that he's connecting from one to the other? We don't have enough information for that to be clear, but I just want to point this out. So if later on, when we get more information, if somehow that makes more sense, we're going to circle back and we'll address that. Now, underneath red notice, he wrote K equals exclamation point, exclamation point. My interpretation of that is he considering whether or not, if he's dead, will he not need will there not be a red notice? Or if he gets away with him being dead, is notice then? Because there are 3 exclamation points. I typed that out exactly as it's written. To the right of that are the initials LSR. And I say initials because I assume that's what those are. I couldn't anybody yet in files with those initials, or at least typing them up. I'm not sure. No, it has only because it's
Give me a second, folks. This shit is freezing. I think it froze. And I want y'all to see what the fuck is going on. Here we go. I don't want y'all to miss nothing. This shit is crazy.
Handwriting is so bad, but I feel with a high degree of confidence that says LSR, and I don't know what that means, but it's very clear. Now, interestingly, underneath guards over here on the right, he wrote government, and I believe this says clear. So government clear. That's my best read on the second word. 100% certain it says government. I'd say 70% certain that it says clear. My interpretation, he's looking for a government where he would be clear to go. Now, interestingly, if we go back to the left, underneath LSR, it says Muslim. Now, obviously, he's Jewish. So the question would be, why is he writing Muslim? I interpret that as where he might be ending, where he's thinking about going, where he might end up. Right below it, it says AS. You could consider that Arabic states potentially, or Arab states, because if we go a little bit lower, and I know this is confusing, this is hard to follow, there's so much, but I'm trying to get the flow of how he thinks about this, because down below it we see Q-SA. Now there's a lot of different ways you could interpret that. Q could be a question. I think of this, if it's below Muslim and AS, it could be Qatar, Saudi Arabia, or Qatar to Saudi Arabia. That's the way I interpret those letters, because he is a very well-traveled person. He knows people pretty much everywhere. So these are not out of the question as far as what these potential initials could mean. Now, to the right of that, he wrote Nigeria with an exclamation point and underlined that. So now that is a country that does extradite to the U.S. So if we're to assume that Qatar and Saudi Arabia are identified, obviously there's Nigeria. These all seem like possibilities, places that he could consider going. So to summarize what we've got so far, we've got a long way to go. At this point, he's been thinking about if he's missing in the U.S. and it's found out that he's missing, then a red notice would be applied. He would need to have all of these other things in place. If we're to go back to the left a little bit where it says red notice, if you look below that, it says the name Mara, question mark. Now, unfortunately, I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what it says below that. It says enlist, maybe. It's so unclear. That looks like an E, an N. It's impossible to read that next letter. It looks like an S and a T. So my best guess would be that it says enlist, but that's with a very low degree of certainty. No, I assume Mara is a name and not code for something else like Mar-a-Lago. I'm sure some people are going to go there, but that would be strange because there's 2 R's, and that's not really how Mar-a-Lago is spelled. But he is writing in code to some extent. Exactly. So keep in mind, Mara may not be as literal as it seems. Maybe it isn't literally somebody's name. Maybe it literally is. But that's one of those things we're going to earmark, and as I continue to analyze other files in later videos, maybe we'll circle back to that. And this, I can't read any of it. It looks like it says LSR again, but it's such a low degree of certainty I didn't type it on there. It's completely illegible. So I have to mark this off as something where I can't truly translate any of that. Now, below that, it clearly says gangsters, and below that, it clearly says extort and kidnap. So we're going from red notice, and below that, it says Mara, something illegible, gangsters, then extort, kidnap. Now, what this line of thought is, I don't know if he's concerned that could happen if he ends up in the wrong country, but there's clearly some train of thought here, starting with Mara and ending with extort, kidnap. Now, if we're to go all the way to the left, to me, this looks like the name Nicole. Now,
I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all joining us right now, this gentleman has found what he believes is a possible escape route on how Jeffrey Epstein escaped jail with the help of, he's going to break it down to get to fucking to Epstein Island, and then from Epstein Island he took off to Israel, yo. This dude is breaking down this shit right here. If you just now joining, you might want to go back later on and watch the stream from earlier. You know what I mean?
Every airport, LaGuardia and JFK, they have people who have private planes that's not actually at the same terminal. So regular passengers
that go through a private way. In the back way, yeah.
Which nobody sees them, but they go other than whoever's working outside on the tarmac. You understand? The private.
Wifey know that's her field. So look at that. This shit crazy.
And they go through their own customs. They go through their own shit. Sometimes they don't even go.
Look at that. That's crazy. Because they have their own private jet. It's their jet. What the fuck? They don't have to care what happens to them. Wow. Let's keep going.
That once again, that's not
exactly. Look at Richard Simmons when he booked it with the flight and everybody, and he took care of the pilot, the crew of the plane.
Hey, I'm a private pilot. Hey, I'm flying the client. They don't need the manufacturer to know the client is.
Wow, this is crazy. Let's continue.
Not with a high degree of certainty, but I can't think of anything else that would fit there. Who Nicole is anybody's guess. There are probably people named Nicole in his orbit. There are probably multiple people named Nicole in his orbit, so I'm not going to guess it as a specific person, or I'm not going to guess who it is. Sure, it's a specific person to him, but I'm not going to speculate as to which Nicole this might be. Above that, my interpretation of this picture right here is that I believe this is a little map of the United States. That's what it looks like, just a weird little sketch of the United States and a squiggly thing coming out of it. So to me, that looks like a map. And the lines may just be the bars of being in the prison cell. So there's not as much meaning in that part. Now, below that, it says island and people. Now, he's lived on an island. Whether or not he wants to end up on an island, this is somewhat less clear, but those are very clearly the words that are written. So I'm not going to try to interpret too much about what that means because it's its own separate idea. But now I want you to focus on the right side again. Now, on the right here, we see it says jet-US prop. Now, what that means is that he's thinking about whether or not the jet that he would be traveling in is U.S. property. Epstein and his associates were obsessed with aircraft registration, jurisdiction, things like that, and that's what jet U.S. prop would be. He's thinking about whether or not the jet he's traveling in is, in fact, U.S. property, because that does change some things jurisdictionally, as well as whether or not there's seizure and all of these other potential issues that could come up. So the fact that he's thinking about that is important. What else is important is that jet U.S. prop was written in a different color. Most of these were written in blue ink. Jet U.S. prop was written in black ink. Now, the reason that matters is that means that this was enough of a plan that where he wrote it out and he came back to it. It wasn't just sketched out and thrown away. He came back with additional thoughts later on. Now, below that, you can see this little scribbled box with the word Brad on top. I'm going to scroll up so you can see it without my comments on it. So you see it's a little square with a little building next to it. And on the left, I interpret this as an airplane. At least I believe that's what it is. Or it could be additional buildings. But it very, very clearly has the word Brad written on top. And then below it and to the right of it, you see what I interpret as supposed to be where cars and planes are parked. I think this right here is a little airplane. So when I saw this, I immediately thought it looked like a private airport, because this shape and design of the building is unusual. Airports are low and they're large. It's a very distinct look. So I was curious what the closest private airport is. The closest private airport to where he was is Teterboro. It also is one of the busiest. I was curious if he'd ever actually been there. So I typed it in the Epstein files, and it showed that it's been mentioned about 7,000 times. So this is definitely one he's familiar with. It does seem to resemble at least this style of airport. I'm not insisting it is this one, but it certainly looks quite a lot like it. So if nothing else, this lends credence to the idea that this building he's drawing is a private airport. He is thinking about getting to a private airport based on everything else he's saying and getting out of there. And the name Brad is associated with that. Who that is that a pilot? Is that somebody who would help him get there? That's unclear, but the name Brad is very, very clearly written on top of that airport. And you may be thinking, well, he's just fantasizing about escaping, and that may be part of it. I think the unusual aspect of that is that he would put a specific name with it. He would write a name on top of the airport. Now, as far as I know, Brad does not stand for anything. It's not an acronym for anything. I take that in a very literal sense as a name. Now, as you can see right here, a portion is redacted. All we can see is that something was underlined. I would absolutely love to know what this said, because something here is very important because it's underlined many times. But if we're to look to the right of that, it said medical/PT. Now, the way I interpret that, PT typically is shorthand for patient. It very clearly says medical. So the question would be, is that how he's thinking about being transported as a medical patient? Possibly. So if we're to scroll down a little further, we see G/computer PB, some question marks, then VI. Now, immediately when I saw this, I knew what this was referring to. PB is Palm Beach, VI is Virgin Islands. So if we're wondering what has something that he is worried about on it or something he's thinking about, it's the computer in Palm Beach. That's the one with the question marks. And just to be clear, so you know that that's actually how he would refer to his computer, I took a snippet from an email from Ghislaine Maxwell. Why do I have no sound on this computer? And it has PB in parentheses next to it because that's referring to the Palm Beach computer. So this is literally how they refer to these computers. Now, as far as the G/ goes, I interpret that, and this is my best guess. I'm trying to tell you what I think is a guess versus what seems more clear. I'm guessing that that somehow is in reference to Ghislaine Maxwell. So as far as where this PB computer is, I would assume that she is in fact the one who has it. So if we start looking at this in total, it becomes very clear that there is a very detailed plan of escaping, and he is actively trying to figure out where he would want to go, how he would get there, and what he would do. Just so you can see for yourself what some of these various words say. I'm going to show you some of the more questionable ones. You can see if you have a different translation. But as we look at this, I put all of the words next to, above, or below my translation so you can see for yourself, see whether or not you think that's actually what it says, or if you have a different interpretation that somehow makes more sense. But I've read a lot of his handwriting. I do feel confident in anything that I actively translated that that's in fact what it says. Now, there is one part that I feel unclear on, and I didn't reference, which is this part right here. It looks like it says Healthline or Heathrow or something that starts with HEATH. But it's so hard to read, I don't want to present a potential interpretation because all four of these are right next to each other, and I think they would all be based on getting these right. And this is the one part that feels very uncertain to me. So if you have any thoughts about what this says, the one below it looks like it says press or press T. And then after that, it looks almost like it says 3 hits or shorts or shots. This is just too unclear. So I would love to be able to have a full interpretation of this, but this makes it impossible. But as you look with words like gangsters, it seems very clear that's what it says next to it. Extort, kidnap, it seems very clear that that's what those words are. Having completely abysmal handwriting myself does help me, I think, understand this a bit more. And as you can see, the name with the $, BLECH, could be an L, I suppose, but I would think BLECHNIL or something along that line, or that last L could actually be an S. When we look at all of this together, it seems pretty clear that his goal was to get out of there, and he was thinking about all of the different logistics of doing that. Now we're going to briefly look at 2 more documents. These will be quick, but they do give a little bit more color to what we just looked at. Now, this next document right here, I'm not going to bother reading through all this. I don't think it's of consequence, but this is basically him complaining about being in prison. But then when we flip it upside down, which is down here, it comes out with something else.
Oh, shit.
This does seem a bit more relevant. So the top, it says something about data. That's unclear, but we do have the years 2002 to 2005. We have 2 initials below that, which I would assume are names, but maybe they stand for something else. But once again, they are coded. He does not want this to be obvious what he's talking about. But the more significant part is directly below that. Jail out equals 10. Now that seems pretty clear. He's talking about getting out of jail. Now, what does the 10 stand for? Is he paying somebody $10 million? Is it 10 o'clock? What is 10? All we know is that he is saying jail out equals 10. And I think that's extremely consequential, particularly given the context of the other page we looked at. Now below it,
I'm going to interject this, guys. We all know that they said that in the jail that the cameras went down at 9:02 and came back up at 2:29 p.m. So at 9 a.m. in the morning to motherfucking 2:29 p.m. they can't get the fuck out of here. Then they have to be at his ride at 10 o'clock.
Some of this is written very clearly, but it's unclear what he's referring to. So he says nothing at all, and then the last word, straw, show. I just can't read those middle letters enough to make that make sense. And then below that, no, it looks like it says no sign me, but it definitely says no something me. So this obviously pairs together with the jail out equals 10, but he just writes so strangely, it's impossible to give you full context. And I don't want to make any major assumptions about what this is saying. So now this is the last page, blankets, AVR, and Medi. And then it says watch, exclamation point. Now this is very interesting because he had an excessive amount of blankets in his prison cell. We know that. That's very well documented. That was acknowledged in the OIG report, actually. So the fact that he had excessive blankets is a fact. AVR, the cameras were not working. So we know for a fact the cameras did not work at that time. And the last one is Medi, which is how people that think he escaped would have done it, would have been through medical. And he says, watch, exclamation point. So what is it that he's watching for? Something to do with the blankets, the AVR, or the Medi. But those are three of the big things that had to be taken care of if he was actually going to pull off something like this. So I think this page, despite the fact it's just a couple of words, could potentially be very consequential. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of what we saw today. I know it's hard to read. I know it's confusing, but there does seem to be some logic to it. There does seem to be some real thought put behind it. And it does seem to be that he was trying to work through the logistics of how to escape. Now, whether or not you think that he escaped or was murdered, he certainly seems to be planning for the future. He was someone that was actively thinking ahead. He seemed to have hope that there was a way out of this situation. Right. So I think the official report on how he died continues to remain the least likely. If you have any thoughts about this, or if you have a different interpretation of any of this information, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious if anybody else has figured out any other pieces to this puzzle. I am continuing to work on other videos about the Epstein files, so if there's anything else you want me to analyze regarding the Epstein files, also let me know about that. Last thing before we get finished up is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, thanks for watching.
Bro, we got to talk, people. We have to talk, man. This shit is crazy. This shit is absolutely fucking wild, bro. No way. No way. Something's not right here. That's all I'm going to fucking say. Something's not right here. I got some more content to show y'all, but I want to go watch this game for a little bit. Go use this big-ass TV that I bought that I never fucking watched. And I'm definitely going to go watch this shit. But yo, Herb, keep it at 100. Something's not right here, bro. Something's really fucking suspect here, yo. Something is truly, truly fucking suspect. That's all I'm saying. And I got some other videos. And shit I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you right now, folks. Definitely, this shit is, yeah, very fishy. Like I said, I got some more videos to show y'all, but I know everybody's gonna go tune into the Super Bowl, so that's what I'm gonna go do too. Once the Super Bowl is over, I'll definitely jump on. I don't want to go watch it because I want to see all the new commercials. Supposedly, there's gonna be some new commercials for the new Spider-Man, for the new Avengers Doomsday that's coming out. A lot of the new shows that are gonna start in the next coming weeks are gonna have their commercials on the Super Bowl. So make sure you check that out. Don't forget to stay for the halftime to watch Bad Bunny's halftime show. With that being said, I'm Havoc 3E. I'm the Devil's Advocate. And I'm the motherfucking problem child, all in one. And in the words of Latin Pain, Boricuas on the set. Smoked out society. I'll see y'all in a little bit.